Acrisius of Argos had only one child, a daughter named Danae. She was beautiful above all women of the land, but this was a small comfort to the king for not having a son. So, he journeyed to Delphi to ask the gods if there was any hope that someday he would be a father of a boy.
King Acrisius, I'm sorry, but you won't be a father to a boy. But your daughter would have a son who would kill you.
Oh, no. No, I have to go.
The only sure way to escape that fate was for the king to have Danae instantly put to death, taking no chances but saying it to him. But Acrisius didn't dare slay his daughter.
Your Majesty,
General, build me a house out of bronze that's sunk underground. Make sure have a part of the roof open to the sky so that light and air could come through. Have it done as soon as possible.
what room is the house for?
It's none of your business. You may now go.
The house was for Danae. It's where he will shut her up and guard her. As Danae sat there through the long days and hours with nothing to do, nothing to see except the clouds moving by overhead, a mysterious thing happened. A shower of gold fell from the sky and filled her chamber.
What's this? Who's there? Hello?
Zeus was the one who visited her in the shape we aren't told, but she knew that the child he bore was her son. For a time, she kept Perseus' secret from her father, but no secret is safe. King Acrisius finally learned about Perseus.
Your child, who is his father?
Zeus. His father is Zeus.
Acrisius knew that the child is a terrible danger to his own. He can't just simply kill him because of his fear of Zeus and the Furies. So, he had a great chest made and the two placed in it. It was taken out to the sea and cast into the water.
Whoa! Keep still, son.
Yes, mother. But will this never-ending journey even end?
I don't know, son. But it will, son. It will.
Suddenly, a wave seemed to lift them and carry them swiftly on, and then, retreating, leave them on something solid and motionless. They had made land, safe from sea, but still in the chest, with no way to get out. Fate willed it, or perhaps Zeus, who up to now had done little for his love and his child, that they should be discovered by a good man, a fisherman named Dictys.
Where are we? Who are you?
I'm Dictys. I was the only one who had courage to open your chest. Is he your son?
Oh yes, he's Perseus. Say hello, son.
Hello, sir.
Come, follow me. I will take the two of you home to my wife.
The two lived in Dictys' humble home for many years. Dictys and his wife took care of them like their own child. But in the end, more trouble came. Polydectes, Dictys' brother and the ruler of the island, fell in love with Danae. He wanted her, but not her son.
Hey Perseus, how are things going?
Fine, sir.
Do you know the Gorgons?
No. What are they?
They are fearsome monsters who live on an island, and were known far and wide because of their deadly power. There are three sisters, namely Medusa, Steno, and Euryale.
How scary are they?
Their strands of hair are snakes, and if they stare at you, you'll be turned into a stone.
Are you kidding me? I would never get near them.
I'd rather have the head of one of them, especially Medusa, than anything else in the world.
Are you serious? Oh well, dreaming is free anyway.
A celebration for Polydectes' upcoming marriage happened in the palace.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to have all of you gathered today for the celebration of my upcoming marriage to this beautiful woman beside me, Zanae. Enjoy the rest of the night, folks.
Each guest, as was customary, bought a gift for the bride-to-be, except Perseus alone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Since I had no gift for my mother and her soon-to-be husband, I promised to give them Medusa's head.
Perseus was saved from his folly. Two great gods, Athena and Hermes, were watching over him. He took ship as soon as he left for the king's hall. He journeyed to Delphi.
Hello, is anyone here?
Perseus, we've been expecting you here.
Please tell me where the Gorgons can be found.
Seek the land where men do not eat Demeter's golden grain, but only acorns.
He went to Dodona, in the land of oak trees, where the talking oaks who made their bread from acorns. They could tell him no more than this, that he is under the protection of the gods. They didn't know where the Gorgons lived. As he wandered on, he met a strange and beautiful person. He's carrying a wand of gold with wings at one end, wearing a winged hat too, and winged sandals. This could be none other than Hermes, the guide and the giver of good.
Before you attack Medusa, you must first be properly equipped. What you needed was in the possession of the nymphs of the north. We need to go to the Grey Women who alone could tell us the way. No ray of sun looked ever on that country, or the moon by night. All three women are grey themselves and withered as in extremely old age. They had one eye for the three, and they take turns with it, each removing it from her forehead when she had it for a time and handing it to another.
Hermes would guide Perseus to them. Once there, Perseus must be kept hidden until he saw one of them take the eye out of her forehead to pass it on.
I'm terrified now. I hope I can do it.
I will give you a sword to attack Medusa. It couldn't be bent or broken by the Gorgon scale, no matter how hard they are. There you are, Athena.
Whoa. Athena? The goddess of wisdom, war and craft. Whoa. You guys are awesome.
Look into this when you attack the Gorgon. You'll be able to see her in it as in a mirror, and so to avoid her deadly power.
Thank you so much.
Now, indeed, Perseus had a good reason to hope. They found the Grey Women at last, looking in the wavering light like grey birds, for they had the shape of swans. Their heads were human, and beneath their wings they had arms and hands.
Hey, where's our eye?
I passed it to you already. You're such an idiot. How are we supposed to see now?
Ladies, your eye is with me. I will...
Give us our eye, you nasty thief! Give it back!
I promise to give you back your eye. If you tell me the directions on how to find the nymphs of the north.
They gave him full directions at once. They would have done anything to get their eye back.
Thank you, ladies. Goodbye for now.
Although he didn't know it, he was bound to the blessed country of the Hyperboreans, at the back of the north wind, of which is said,
Neither by ship nor yet by land shall one find the wondrous road to the gathering place of the Hyperboreans.
Perseus had Hermes with him. The road lay open to him, and he reached the host of the happy people who are always banqueting and holding joyful revelry.
Welcome to our feast.
We're glad to see you here.
Attention everyone, now it's time to give our guest his gift.
There were three gifts for Perseus. First, winged sandals. Second, a magic wallet which would always become the right size for whatever was to be carried in it. And most important of all, a cap which made the wearer invisible. With these and Athena's shield and Hermes' sword, Perseus was ready for the Gorgon. By great good fortune, they were all asleep when Perseus found them. In the mirror of the bright shield, he could see them clearly. Creatures with great wings and bodies covered with golden scales and a hair a mass of twisting snakes. Athena and Hermes were beside them.
There's Medusa. She's alone of the three could be killed. The other two were immortal.
Perseus aimed a stroke down at Medusa's throat and Athena guided his hand.
Release it, Perseus. You're almost there.
Perseus swooped low enough to seize the head. He dropped it into the wallet which closed around it. He had nothing to fear from it now, but the two other Gorgons had awakened and horrified at the sight of their sister slain. They tried to pursue the slayer. Perseus was safe. He had on the cap of darkness and they couldn't find him. Hermes had left him. Perseus found that a lovely maiden had been given up to be devoured by a horrible sea serpent. Her name was Andromeda, the daughter of a silly vain woman. When Perseus arrived, the maiden was on a rocky ledge by the sea, chained there to wait for the coming of the monster. Perseus saw her and fell in love with her right away.
Andromeda, I'm coming for you.
He waited beside her until the great snake came for its prey.
You're safe now, Andromeda.
Thank you so much, Perseus. I will be dead by now if you didn't come.
Perseus took Andromeda to her parents and asked for her hand, which they gladly gave him.
Excuse me. Do you know where are Dictys and the two women who live with him here?
I'm sorry, but Dictys' wife was long since dead. Danae and Dictys had to fly and hide themselves from Polydectes. Danae refused to marry him, which made him furious.
Did he tell you where they flew off?
They had taken refuge in a temple. Did you know that Polydectes is having a banquet in the palace? And all the men who favored him gathered there. You should go.
Oh, of course, I'd love to.
He went straight to the palace and entered the hall. As he stood at the entrance, Athena's shining buckler on his breast, the silver wallet at his side, he drew the eyes of every man there. Before any could look away, he held up the Gorgon's head. At the sight of one and all, the cruel king and his severe courtiers were turned into stone.
When the islanders knew themselves freed from the tyrant, it was easy for Perseus to find Danae and Dictys.
Dictys was made the king of the island.
Thank you so much, Perseus, for giving me this position. I assure you, I will not be anything like my brother.
You're a good man, Dictys. Take care of the people here. By the way, my mother and I, together with Andromeda, decided to go back to Greece and try to reconcile with my grandfather.
I'm sure things will be alright. Take care, Perseus. I will miss you.
When they reached Argos, they found out that Acrisius had been driven away from the city.
Do you know where in Argos could the former king possibly went?
We don't know. We haven't heard heard the news about him for a while now.
Thank you anyway.
Perseus overheard someone talking about the contest ongoing in Argos right now.
Did you know that the king of Larissa in the north was holding a great athletic contest right now? Do you think we should go?
Yes, we should go. We must hurry before the boat leaves us at 8 in the morning.
Perseus journeyed to the north and decided to take part in the contest.
Please welcome contestant number 5, Perseus.
You can do it, Perseus.
We have not seen that in years. This was one great throw by Perseus. Oh my goodness! A spectator was hit. Call the ambulance. Oh my goodness!
Acrisius was the spectator that was hit by the discus. He was there to visit the king. The blow was fatal and he died at once. Apollo's oracle was again proven true. If Perseus felt any grief, at least he knew that his grandfather had done his best to kill him and his mother. With his death, their troubles came to an end. Perseus and Andromeda lived happily ever after. Their son, Electryon, was the grandfather of Hercules. Medusa's head was given to Athena, who bore it always upon the aegis, Zeus' shield which she carried for him.